This construction work is a matter of public record. Hello and welcome to this impromptu talk about Netrunner. No wait, it's a seedy location. Okay, in this episode I want to talk to you about archives. Why archives? Well, I just had a thought about an hour ago. Archives. Considering the talk we've had about the whole kerfuffle about IG and how everyone seems to be panicking over Brexit, I just wanted to talk about archives for some reason. Now, in this video here, I've taken a video from the Game Night Kit 2016, and you have Rupert here, I believe, playing Andy. And as you know, criminals like to run remotes, whatever have you. The benefit here being getting a data sucker token and 2 credits. Also for the Desperado getting an extra credit, so it's 3 credits and a token for 1 click. It's really good. Really, really good. Yet a lot of people leave archives open because they don't have the time. Even against Anarch, you still tend to see some people leaving archives open, considering that cards get milled. You know, why'd you leave archives open? I suppose industrial genomics has a reason to cover up archives. Also has a natural built-in defense from running on archives. But not many other corporations do. I mean, NBN has that 2 tags or -1 judge point from news team. I suppose technically Wayland does have Space Camp, although it doesn't really work as a fast advanced tool. The idea of archives is an interesting one, and it does make sense. Okay, where do your cards go when they've been used? They go to the public archives as a matter of record. And I suppose that Haspiroid is supposed to be the one that can recur stuff really well. But I wonder, why doesn't Haspiroid have the kind of reliance on archives like industrial genomics does? I don't want to go into another rant here. I've already posted my rant video where I spat my salt, and I apologise for that, by the way. I just get overly emotional. Either way, archives. Noise mills into archives. Anarchs are supposed to be the archives faction from what I understand, given their interface. And I suppose we've seen in Fear the Mouses, we've seen running on HQ putting cards into archives, we've seen spoilers putting cards into archives. But I'm surprised we don't have more interaction using archives. And by that I mean we have assets that take up remote servers. I suppose we do have upgrades that can go on R&D, as well as HQ. But what about benefits from archives? Now, you get shapers, like I use Exile, so you get shapers getting recursion from just installing stuff from the heap. But why can't more corporations install stuff from the heap? I mean, sure, we got interns, but we got interns, and we have sponsored one, the memes. Go Team Swift. Yes, we have Go Team Swift, the 1 cost 4 trash has borrowed 1 influence card. When you score an agenda, you can put a card in from archives. You also have the NBN agenda that no one else really uses, where the card is also rezzed. Also have Ad Blitz, I believe it is. I played that once. It cost too much money. I went down to 0, installing all my what's it called now? Installing all my Adonis campaigns. It was a very interesting card. It still needs some work. I need breakaway grids to make it viable. Now, I would like to see more of this archives play. More reasons why. You know what? I really do need to protect archives. I can really use this because, again, I don't really use Jackson Howard. You have the card like Museum of History, which takes out 1, and it's a very powerful card. You also have the false HQ one, but although it only does HQ. Now, again, I don't expect a reprint of Jackson, but I do think Jackson should have been a Has-Borrowed card because it's how efficient it is. I mean, if it was in Has-Borrowed, it would just make so much sense. Oh yes, they have Bioroid workers, and Bioroid workers can get them more ideas, like get ideas through quicker, or they can like recycle stuff. It makes much sense. I don't know why it was in NBN, but again, that's another run, and I'm so bad, and I am so sorry. My point is this. Consider archives. My work with archives so far I've done the whole power shutdown combination, and Jackson and stuff, and firing up from R&D. There has to be some more ways to use archives. I like to use this infinite cycle where I have 2 archive memories and a reclamation order, and basically I can reclamation order out 3 things and then archives memory back to reclamation order, and just keep doing that infinitely so I can recur stuff back to my HQ. I wanted to do this combination with an NBN card, a corporate shuffle. That's where it's a double 0 cost NBN card that lets you shuffle back in cards from HQ into R&D. Unfortunately, you draw back 5, so it's not that useful. So I wanted to try and do some kind of infinite loop out of that. Again, it's not really efficient, but I wanted to do it for the sake of being able to do it. It would have been nice also if we worked not just from HQ, but worked from archives as well. So you have the archives interface, you also have the rework does it from archives. That would have been nice, but again, it only works from HQ. I still think that archives is a game space that has yet to be truly fully tapped. And I do understand that Museum of History was an attempt at doing that. And a very good one, mind you. But if they can't reprint Jackson, I still think events are the way to go. I still think that I would like to see maybe HB get more in on this, because again, they're supposed to be the recursion faction, and it doesn't have to be a trap. It could be as simple as the first time the runner accesses his card per turn, like they lose a click. So, oh no, this card's in archives. I can't run archives. I'm just going to lose a click. Or maybe you get to install something. Again, I don't understand why Crick was a... Yeah, Crick was a Jinteki card, but I guess they can't have Turing. Yeah, well, they had to go somewhere. I think maybe Wayland should have had that. Yeah. Jinteki's and Mirai could have been one for net damage, I suppose. Yeah, that would have made a whole lot more sense. But again, I love talking about design. I just love thinking about design of this. And I designed some cards also. So what I might try and do is, I like designing cards and throwing them up on the Facebook page, Netrunner Geeks, which tends to be a worldwide thing. So by the way, if you have not been on Netrunner Geeks, I highly advise joining the Facebook page Netrunner Geeks, because that's where where I see most of the world in general congregate. there are many other things about archives. So this is just me rambling on about archives impromptuly. So I would like people to maybe post about archives, what the experience has been besides the Anarch train. I mean, you've got Cyberdeck's Virus Suite in archives also. There's just... But it doesn't... I don't think that really stops people. And I've seen people slot the Seattle slums. I myself do prefer archives interface out of Edward Kim. What I liked to do with Edward Kim was give him a Desperado, just run on HQ, run on archives with a hemorrhage, preferably 2 hemorrhages, and I could just click trash, have the corp trash their hand, and then I could just remove cards from the game that way. So also if they protect archives of run HQ and just trash the cards that way, then I just ram R&D, single accesses even. They also have demolition runs just to trash even more cards. It was so much fun. Violent Kim. Oh, because I like to call my XL deck Violent Ken. Okay, so everyone, please give me your thoughts on archives. I know it seems like a throwaway subject, but with the current meta so far, I feel that archives could be something maybe not in the next pack, because the next pack, from what I understand, is going to be more about there's going to be some shockingly overpowered cards. There's also going to be a lot of splashing of lots of low powered cards with 1 influence. And I think that maybe well, not the next cycle because they're already working on that. Maybe the cycle after that they can work on archives some more. Because I definitely think archives is a design space that has not yet been explored as thoroughly as it could be. Okay, so thank you everyone for listening, and I hope you had a nice day.